making a vegetable korma, and I was going to be making some pork adobo, but then I changed my mind and I was like, I need to use up these vegetables soon, so I decided to make a vegetable korma instead, and this will be vegetarian. So I'm going to make 2 cups of jasmine rice in my rice cooker, and I'm going to throw in about a tablespoon of cumin seeds. Stir that around, close it up, and let it cook until it's done. So for my korma, I have probably about a cup and a half of sliced button mushrooms. I have about 4 inches of ginger diced, and then I have about 5 cloves of garlic diced, and then I have 4 sprigs of curry leaves, 2 big russet potatoes cubed. I have 1 eggplant and 1 zucchini cubed, and then I have about 3 cups maybe of carrots sliced. I'm also going to be using a can of peas and this cashmere style korma sauce by Tiger, and I will be using butter and olive oil. So let's get our pan heated up with some butter and olive oil. I'm going to use about 2 tablespoons of butter and about 2 tablespoons of olive oil. I'm going to turn the heat up slightly to a 7, which is a low, medium, high. Now that the oil's starting to bubble, I'm going to add my potatoes and my carrots, and I'm going to salt those. Mix it up so we get the salt all over the veggies, because the salt helps break down the vegetables. And then we're just going to let that simmer for a little while until it gets a little tender. Oh, you know what? I forgot to add our aromatics. We should have done that first, but we can do it now. So we're gonna add our garlic and ginger and curry leaves now, but I would have done that first. Ooh, now it's smelling really good. And now the curry leaves. I actually have a curry leaf tree, and that's where I get my curry leaves, just right off the tree. But it dies back in the winter time, so I can only have curry leaves during the spring and the summer. Ooh, these are nice tender leaves. I've had it for like 1 year now, and it's turning into a very cute little tree. Now I'm adding my zucchini and eggplant. And even if these are not cooked all the way, they will cook all the way when we let this simmer, because I'm going to let this simmer for a while. That rice is smelling good. Now you could use basmati instead of jasmine. I just don't have any basmati, so I use jasmine. Now I'm going to add my mushrooms. Mix that up in there. Okay, this is really looking good. So now it's time to add our korma sauce. That smells delicious. And you know what? I might add some milk to this too to make it like a little bit thinner. Because I should have bought 2 jars, but I only bought 1 jar, so I think I'm going to add some milk to this too to spread it out a little more. So I'm going to add, let's see, that's probably about 1 cup right there. I'm going to see if I can get some more out of this jar by filling this jar with milk. Just shaking it up. And that's probably enough milk for the korma. Now the korma already has milk in it, so you don't have to worry about adding something that's not already in it. I'm just adding more to the sauce. And hopefully it will thicken up as it simmers too. I just wanted to get everything all coated because that didn't seem like very much sauce, and I figured I could thin it out with some milk and then let it thicken up, because it says right here milk and coconut are ingredients. It uses cream, not milk, but that's okay. It'll probably thicken up just fine. So I'm just going to make sure there's nothing stuck to the bottom of the pan. Get it all mixed up and let it simmer. I'm going to turn it down to a 4 and just let it simmer to thicken up and get some of those vegetables nice and tender. Okay, after giving this a taste, I think it needs a little more salt and maybe a little more butter. Ooh, I just put some pepper in it. Well, we'll have pepper then. Okay, so I added about 1/8 of a teaspoon of pepper, and I'm gonna add about 1/2 of a teaspoon salt. And I'm gonna add 2 more tablespoons of butter. And of course you could use ghee instead of butter. I think when I added the milk, it kind of took away some of the fattiness in the sauce, so that's why I gotta add the butter to it. Because cream is essentially milk with butter in it. So I gotta just add some of that butter back to it. It's thickened up real nice. Much better. I'm gonna try one of those carrots, see how it's doing. Carrots are still a little firm, so it needs to simmer a little more. I'm gonna try one of the potatoes. The potatoes are just almost there. So I'm going to just let this simmer probably about 5 more minutes. And then it should be ready. The rice is already ready. Okay, before I forget, I want to add this can of peas. I'm going to drain them and then add them to the korma. And then this still has to simmer because those carrots aren't tender yet. You want those carrots to be tender. Mix in those peas. This smells delicious. Love vegetable korma. Okay, we got our cumin rice here. And I'm going to put some vegetable korma on top. And there's the delicious vegetarian korma. I'm so going to enjoy this.